Hi, everybody. This is Dee Reinhardt. We are going to start our resume tips in 30 minutes. And this session, we're going to be talking about Illinois workNet Resume Building Tool. It's a very, very vibrant tool. It is available to anybody in Illinois that is using Illinois workNet and has an account. And if Chelsea can put the link into the chat pod for us, just in case you don't already have one, you can create an account and use this resume building tool. Just to let you know, our handouts to the right of the chat pod, there is a handout that has all of the slides, and then there is also another document that's a PDF, and it's a chart of all of the tools and what those tools will do for you in the resume building tool, because it's so much more than just a resume building tool. Today on our webinar, we're going to be talking about building a resume. We're going to talk about the templates, the styles that are available, tools that you can use, and the actions that you can take. First and foremost, we have this tool. It is for Illinois workNet users, as I said earlier, and you can create resumes, letters, portfolios. You can do skills assessments. You can do interviewing practices. You can even create a little mini website. So let's get started with the resume builder. From the document center that you saw on the previous screen, all you have to do is select resumes. Once you're there, you can pick either a resume that you've already worked with, or you can create a new resume. After you pick the option to create a new resume, the box will open up so that you can name that resume, or you have the option to upload an existing resume that you have. Maybe you created it in Word or in another tool and saved it, so then you can use that one as well. Just note, though, that you cannot make any editing changes to that resume if you do upload one. There's 3 options available to create a new resume. You can create one with our templates, and there's 145 different templates available in the template section. You can create a resume that has only sections, and then if you feel like you're really on top of things, or maybe you're a professional resume builder, you can use the Start from Scratch option. So you've got lots of options available to you. Today we're going to be talking about using the templates, the samples section. And so when you browse those sections when you browse those samples of the resume, you can pick from 145 different samples that are available, and you can see all of the different career categories that are available to you. Architecture, building and grounds, business and finance, construction, education, farming. We've even got a whole section in there for manufacturing, everything that you can think of. Once you pick your resume template from an industry category, you also get to pick what kind of experience level you want to see as examples. So you have entry level, mid-career, or experienced. The samples will appear at the bottom of the screen. Once you pick from the thumbnail, you can see a full-size view, and if you decide that that's the sample that you want to use, you just have to click the little icon at the top of the screen that says Use this sample. So it's super simple to pick something, and you get so many options to look at before you actually have to make any kind of a decision. After you've made your selection, the builder automatically enters your contact information that you set up in the system when you initially set up your account with the resume building tool. You can edit the different areas with your information, and we're going to talk about that just a little bit more. But one of the things that you can do is make a change to the overall formatting with 13 different styles. We're going to show you those in just a moment. Your margins can be changed. You can select a font. Your bullet style can be selected. Lines can be inserted. You can even establish what kind of spacing that you want to use. The other thing that's a great, great, great tool on this resume builder are the examples that you can select from, action verbs suggestions that you can use, and info bites. It helps you with suggestions to make your resume stronger and stronger and stronger. And we all know that a great resume is what gets you in the door to get that interview. Let's talk just a moment about the examples. They are suggested by category, and as you can see, there's things like achievements, activities, additional training, education, work experience, exhibitions, performance, headline, honors and awards, licensure, certifications, I can't say that word, memberships, military background, objective, personal interest, profile and summary, publications, references, relevant coursework, relocation preferences, skills and strengths, your technical skills, or even volunteer work. Each category can be selected for non-exempt or entry-level, experienced, managers or supervisors, or even executives. And it includes at least 3 suggestions for each item that you might want to use. And remember that every item that you select is completely editable so that you can put in your specific data or your specific words. Action verbs are a great way to use those words to make sure that your resume pops. You want to make sure that you're using action verbs as well as action statements. So strategic words are one of your selections that you can make, along with organizational words, analytical words, tactical words. And it's just great information that you can use. Info bites is another option that you can do with this tool, and it's a great way to include a problem, an action that you took, and a result that you achieved that will help the employer save either money or time. And that's what employers want to know, is how can you help them save money or time. Another thing that you can do with this great resume tool is within the experience section that you're adding, you have the ability to include the employer's name, their location, their website address, and one of the great features is showing a company description. What's really great about using a company description would be to use that to promote your skills that you learned at a particular level. So for example, an emergency room nurse that worked at a level 1 trauma hospital probably has many more skills than somebody who just worked at a smaller local emergency room. So by showing a little bit of a description about the place where you worked, that may make all of the difference in the world for you to get that phone call for the interview. You can also include a job title, a job description, and make use of those WYSIWYG tools. What you see is what you get. So you have all of the options available to you, bold, italic, underline. You can cross through. You can change the size of your font. You can create bullets, add a link, insert a table. It's just great tools that are available to you. The other thing that you can do is once you've picked your template and you've got your basic information entered, now you want to make it look like your very own resume instead of using that template. So you want to make sure that you're using the features that are to the right-hand side of your template that include styling your resume specifically, making sure that the format is appropriate. Use spell check, and then make sure that you have had somebody read your resume as well. Don't just rely on the computer spell check, because you know there are many words that are spelled correctly that mean the wrong thing. You can also edit, reorder, or delete sections or add new sections. And then there's all sorts of tools and tips that are offered, including an entire section that will help you explore the different careers in ONET. And that's a great tool that we recommend and use on a regular basis here at Illinois WorkNet. The tools can help you make your resume unique, make it your resume. So if you look at the style section, styling your resume, as we discussed a moment ago, you can pick what style you want. And you might want to pick Franklin or Emerson or Jackson. You can pick the layout, the way it's actually laid out on the page, the font that you want to use. And we recommend a not too busy font so that it makes it easier in case your resume is used in an automatic tracking system. You can pick what style of bullets you want to use. Insert lines. Make sure that that spacing is in there the way that you want the spacing to go. You can also see that you can pick all of those items. It's showing an example to the far right-hand image there. And then make sure that you're using the tools that are available to you. Remember, spell check, spell check, spell check. And if you want to see the changes that you've made, you can go in and look at your changes. Use the sections to your advantage. Remember, if you are a career changer or if you are just exiting college and coming into, or school in any form or fashion, and coming into the workplace, you want your education to be more prominent than if you are an experienced job seeker that has many years of experience in that particular career field. So use that to your advantage as well. And make use of those resources that we mentioned just a few moments ago. When you reorder the sections, you can move them around, and it will show you in what order those sections are in. So maybe you want your goals to be at the top, or maybe you want the goals to be at the bottom. Just use this tool to reorder your resume. Also, you have a skills section that you can include in your resume. One of the great tools that is available to you in the Resume Builder is the fact that you can include your skills. And if you notice at the bottom of the top picture, it has a My Skills. Those are the items that you would have typed in after you took your assessment items on this tool. So you can pull words out of your skills, or you can make use of the ONET tool to add the proper phrasing or the keywords that are appropriate to your particular career path. And we all know how important keywords are, as well as those action verbs. So here we have a larger image of the My Skills. And I did the skills inventory. I ordered my skills, and I can use those skills to include items into my resume section. Now, once you've finished your resume, we all know that it's really important to make sure that you are customizing your resume for a particular job application. What's really great about this tool is you can clone the resume that you just made, rename it, and edit the renamed one to match that specific job application that you're sending out the information for. So using that clone function and the rename function really helps you personalize your resume for a particular job application. We also have some additional features, and one of them is the GPS, the resume GPS. What happens with this is your resume becomes searchable by any employer in the country when you opt in for the resume GPS system. Job seekers can actually view the profiles of the employers that looked at their resume. That's just such a great feature. As part of the resume GPS, you also receive messages from employers who want to communicate with that particular job seeker. Notifications and views can be accessed from two sources, either your messages and alerts at the bottom of the resume builder or from the GPS resume menu. The other feature that's available to you by using this resume builder tool that is just going to help you optimize your resume is that you can download the finished version. And when you download the finished version, it comes to you in options that is either Microsoft Word compatible, you can download it as a PDF, you can download it as HTML, or you can download it as plain text. Now, one of the things that you have to understand about the plain text is the formatting is not there when you do that. But if you just want the words so that you can paste that into another resume tool, that's a great tool for you. There's also an opportunity for you to share your resume. The tool provides a link so that you can share your resume either by email, on the web, over the internet, or through social media. And you get a great link that will take them to your resume that's a public view of that resume. So you want to share your resume on another website or by email. All you have to do is create that resume, download it as the RTF file, which is the Word compatible, PDF, HTML, or text file, or share it as a link. This enables resumes to be used on any job search on any website or through Illinois workNet or even through the Illinois Job Link system with Illinois Department of Employment Security. One of the last couple of things that you can do with your resume is you can preview the print version to make sure that once you print it off, it's going to look the way that you want it to look. So please make sure that you do that because you don't want somebody printing your resume and not being able to see everything the way that you think that they're going to want to see it. You can also make a list of things to do for your resume. Maybe you need to get one of those problem, action, and result kind of scenarios so that you can make your resume even better. Perhaps you need to find the website for the employer that you had to make sure that you can include that information on there as well. So make yourself a to-do list for your resume. The other thing that you can do is you can switch between resumes. So maybe you have 4 or 5 resumes that are focusing on different keywords. You can switch between them to make sure that you can make changes and corrections on all of your resumes. Unfortunately, the tool does not make all of the changes at one time if you type something on one resume. So make sure that you're keeping all of your resumes up to date. Let's take a moment right now and answer any questions that you have about the tool. And we do have one in the chat pod right now. Does the GPS function work with uploaded resumes or only resumes that you build in the system? And it does work with any of them that you have included on the system. And now let me go back a screen on the resume GPS, you do have to make sure that you opt in, and that is available when you are making your resume and you click the resume GPS. It does give you this option to say that this is my GPS resume, and those resumes are searchable. What I would do is create a generic, as generic as possible, using the main keywords that you need to use, and then make sure that you have that one be your GPS resume. Does that answer your question, Erin? Hi, Erin's typing. Yes, thank you very much. So now, do we have any other questions from our audience about our resume building tool through Illinois WorkNet? And if you need some additional assistance, we do have the list that is in the handouts to the right-hand side. We also have the slides so that you can use these as reference. And Chelsea, we did a webinar on Illinois WorkNet's resume building tool that we did earlier this year. If you can find that link, it has a description of the entire tool that is available to everybody. And if you can add that to the chat pod, then people can take a look at that as reference as well. So we've gotten our tool discussed for the resume builder. Are you getting the results that you want from your resume? Let's pull a poll question out real quick and see if you are getting the response that you want from your resumes. It looks like our audience is a little bit split right now. And I'm going to pull up another question for everybody, just so that we can find out some other information here. Do you include a cover letter with your resume submittal? One of the tools that we did not discuss today but is available with the resume building tool are letters. It includes tools like follow-up letters, cover letters, networking letters, everything that you want to use. When it comes to a letter, you can create it in the resume building tool. How many of you, let's just do this by a show of hands, how many of you know the action verbs that you need to be using in your resume? All you have to do is raise your hand with the little man at the top of the screen. Well, we have a great article. I'm going to move this into the chat area for you to link to. It is an article on action verbs, just so that you can see what those action verbs are that you should be using. The other thing is, how many of you know the keywords that you should be using in your resume? One of the suggestions that you can use to create a list of the keywords that you need is take 5 or 6 job applications that you would use, or that you for which you would apply, add them all into a word cloud creator, and find out what the most used words are by the ones that show up largest on the screen. And I just typed a word cloud creator website into the chat pod. It's called wordle.net, and you can use that to create word clouds. And that will help you with your keywords as well as with your resume to make sure that those work best for you. Well, if we don't have any other questions coming in, we will close this webinar. I want to thank you for your attention. We will have this posted for future reference for your use and for anybody else that you know that is a job seeker. And it will be posted on Illinois WorkNet. We'll see you on our next series at the end of the month. We will have the registration up hopefully tomorrow, and our next series will be on interviewing, and those will be on August 26th and 27th. Thanks a lot for joining us today. I hope you picked up a nugget or two. Have a great day.